Chapter 3, Molecules and Compounds. So the quote here, Francis Crick is the Crick of Watson and Crick, who discovered the shape of the DNA. Almost all aspects of life are engineered at the molecular level, and without understanding molecules, we can only have a very sketchy understanding of life itself. We know that elements combine with each other to form compounds. Have you ever thought about how many possible compounds there are? I mean, even if you just combine two elements, there's 91 elements, right? And then combining two elements doesn't necessarily mean that you've got one atom of this one and one atom of that one. You could have different numbers. Then you throw in the fact that you could have 3 or 4 or 7 or more elements in the same compound. And there's a lot of compounds. And we see this in the diversity of substances around us, things that are liquids and things are different colors. Food has different tastes, and this is all a result of the ability of elements to form compounds. So let's look at hydrogen, oxygen, and water. What we find is that when elements combine to form a compound, their properties change, often dramatically. So here is the element hydrogen, has a boiling point that's extremely low. It's a gas at room temperature. It's explosive. Did you hear about the Hindenburg in history class ever? Giant blimp filled with hydrogen. Made it all the way across the ocean, and as it was landing, it blew up. They don't use hydrogen anymore. They use helium because it doesn't do that. Oxygen, also very low boiling point, gas at room temperature, and we associate oxygen with things that burn, but oxygen is required to burn things. It's not actually what's burning. But we combine these two elements to form water. Now, water has a boiling point that's well above zero. It's a liquid at room temperature, and not only is it not flammable, it works really well to put out flames, right? So when we have compounds, their characteristics, their properties are very different than those of the elements they come from. A lot of people are very concerned about the possible presence of mercury in their vaccines because a preservative has mercury in it. Well, elemental mercury is quite dangerous, and you definitely wouldn't want that injected into your body. But when mercury is in a compound, it does not behave that way. And so many things that are toxic as elements, when formed into the right kind of compound, are very good for you. And so that's helpful to keep in mind. Let's review the difference between a mixture and a compound. This is an illustration of a mixture between hydrogen and oxygen gases. In a mixture, you can have your elements in any proportion. So we could add some more hydrogens, we could add some more oxygens, we'd still have a mixture. In a compound, the elements are always in a fixed, definite proportion. So if it's water, it's always 2 hydrogens to 1 oxygen. Always, always.